Hello, third graders. Why don't we do a task together? What kind of task, you may ask? CASP, English Language Arts Performance Task, is what I had in mind. You might be thinking, what? And that's why we're here today. The purpose of this video is to talk about performance tasks, which is something that you start doing this year. We're talking about why you do them, and then we're going to get ourselves ready to jump in and do a performance task together. Because what is a task? A chore, a project, a challenge, and a performance, right? You can have a dance performance, a music performance. In this case, it's the CASP performance task. It's all about the performance of reading and reading to learn from what it is that the author is trying to tell you, and writing. Reading and writing. That's it. Now, at the end of the first part of this video, I'm going to ask you some questions to see what you have learned about this performance task that we're going to do. Here's one important thing to know. What do you do for the performance task? You read 2 or 3 articles, and then you write based on what you've learned from them. First thing to know, there are 3 different parts or 3 different types of essays that you may be asked to write on a performance task. Opinion, in which you use what you have learned to persuade your audience about something, or you might be asked to write an informational piece in which you teach your reader about what you have learned, or super fun, narrative, in which you use what you have learned from the sources to write a narrative, a story for your audience, full of engaging details that you've learned from what you read. 3 different genres: opinion, informational, and narrative. Bing, 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 bing. But what is the CASP? Why is it called the CASP performance task? Well, let me tell you. See if you can guess this acronym. You know how like LOL is an acronym? Stands for laugh out loud. CIA is an acronym. You know what it stands for? Central Intelligence Agency. CASP is also an acronym. Do you have any guesses? Do you know what that CA at the beginning stands for? Clues, it's our beautiful state. Ooh, guys, skills, do I have them? Yes. CA stands for California. The A is for assessment, right? Which is just a synonym or another way of saying an exam or a test. Specifically, it's just looking at the strengths and areas of improvement of where we're all at this time. The S is for you. It stands for student, CAS. And then the P for the end actually has performance in it. Can I perform it moving these sheets out or now? It's the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. That's why I love this performance task. It's all about progress. How much better are you getting every year at reading and writing? That's what they want to know. And in fact, that's my next question to you. Why? Why would they have you read and write every year? And let me tell you, and this question will come at the end. This year is the first year that you're going to do a CASP performance task, right? Because you're going to be in 3rd grade. Guess how many times you're going to take this? You take it in the spring every year, right? At the end of the year to show what you have learned in 3rd grade, at the end of the year in 4th grade, at the end of 5th grade, at the end of 6th grade, at the end of 7th grade, at the end of 8th grade, and at the end of 11th grade. How many times, guys, are you going to take this performance task? 7. Yeah. Why? Why every year at the end of the year? Does the state of California want you to read and write? They want to see progress. Are you getting better? And how do you get better at something? Effort, right? By really trying every day with reading and writing and reading and writing. So they want to see, are you putting in effort every day to become the best reader and writer you can be? Is your teacher putting in their effort and getting what they need to help you be successful? Does your school have what it needs to help you get better and better and better at reading and writing? Does the state have what it needs? Is it doing its part? Is it putting in the effort to make sure that you are getting better and better every day at reading and writing? That is why we take the CASP English Language Arts Performance Task every spring for 7 years. So let's jump in. I actually love the performance task. Let's talk about what we know, okay? We know that you're going to first read. How many sources is it going to have you read? Like 2 or 3 different articles about a topic, okay? You take notes on those things, you learn that information, and then you turn around and you write about what you have learned. Here's what I want you to know. There are 2 parts to every performance task. The first part are the short answer essays. And that's where they want to just give you an opportunity to show what you know from what you've learned in reading the articles. Part number 2 is one big, beautiful, long answer essay. And this is the one that might either be an opinion piece or an informational piece, or when you tell a story, it might be a narrative. Those are the 3 different genres you might be writing about for the CASP English Language Arts Performance Task. Okay, before I ask you what you have learned about the performance task, I have 4 tips, because I have seen a lot of students take the English Language Arts Performance Task. This is what I have to say. Number 1, don't give up. Just keep going. Read, keep reading, keep reading, keep reading. And you might think, oh man, I'm getting tired. Or, oof, I'm feeling overwhelmed. You can stretch. You can take a little break. And then don't give up. Just keep coming back to it. And it really pays off. Feels really good when you're done. Number 2, here's the key thing. Take notes. Scratch paper is absolutely your best friend on the CASP performance task. You can use as much as you want. And what helps me so much when I am learning from what I'm reading is take notes. Get a pen, get scratch paper, say source number 1, and write down, I like to do it at the end of every paragraph, what you feel is important from that section. Don't give up. Take notes. Look at number 3. Make notes. You know what that's all about? Do you remember who your best friend is on the performance task? Scratch paper. How much can you use? As much as you want. So this is what I like to do. I take notes on what I'm reading. I'm learning, ooh, okay. Our performance task, 3rd grade, that we're going to be doing is about islands. Okay, so we'd be taking notes on islands, everything that we're learning about islands. You take your notes, give yourself a high five after you've read all the sources, and then you make notes. Take another piece of scratch paper and then plan out what you want to say. Okay, all right. What's my introduction going to be? What are some things that I could talk about? Okay, I could talk about food, shelter, okay, blah, blah. And my conclusion, what's the big thing I wanted to say? Make notes. This is what rocks an excellent performance task, friends. You take notes and then you make notes. Now, last thing. I didn't draw my mustache on my finger. I love to draw my mustache on my finger. This sounds a little crazy, but it has served me well over the years. Before I ever turn anything in, right, I write the thing. I brainstorm, write the first draft. Oh, this is terrible. Rewrite it, organize it. Okay, it's looking better. Before I submit an essay, I always reread it as if I were someone else. I imagine I'm a total stranger reading this essay for the first time. Ooh la la. And then you can even like read it out loud quietly to yourself before you hit send. Why? Because I find it is a great way to really reflect on what you have written, and you might see ways that you can make something a little more clear. You might catch a typo that you didn't otherwise see. Reread your essay as if you were another person. Are you ready? This is what we're going to do. We are going to attack this performance task that you can find online. It's really great. All of the CASP questions, samples are available online so you know what you are getting into. Before we jump in to attacking this performance task, show me what you know from what we have learned about the task. Wait a second. Wait a second. There it is, guys. Here we are. Now it's funny, this says second graders, and I'm going to change it to third graders because that may be what grade you are going into or are currently a part of. Here are the questions. What do you know about the CASP performance task? You tell me. When do you take the CASP during the year? The answer is, bing, 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 every spring. Which grade do you start taking the CASP? This very year, third grade. Now, in your lifetime, my friends, how many times are you going to take this CASP English Language Arts Performance task? Third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade. The answer is 7. Getting better and better each time. Here's a biggie. Do you remember what this acronym CASP stands for? You probably remember the CA, that stands for California. The A, assessment. S is for student. The 2 P's are for your performance and your progress as you learn throughout the year. What's one reason you take the CASP? You can pick whatever reason works best for you. I like to take it because I think it's fun. But we know that it's a way of measuring and looking at your progress every year. Are you working hard and putting in effort? Is your teacher, is your school, and is the state, right? Is everybody getting better and better at reading and writing? That's why we take the performance task. Okay, you ready? Do you remember how many different genres there are? Opinion, you try to persuade your reader based on what you've learned. Narrative, in which you tell your reader a story informed by what you have read. And then we've also got the informational/explanatory essay where you teach your reader what you have learned. So the answer is, how many genres? 3. 2 parts. Remember that part 1 has not shirt answer essays. It has short answer essays where you show what you know and what you've learned. Part number 2 has 1 long answer essay. And that's really fun. It's either an opinion, informational, or narrative. Guys, what 4 things should you always do when you're attacking the CASP performance task? Don't give up. Correct. Take notes. Number 3, make notes. Plan out on that scratch paper what you want to say. And then reread your essay as if you were a different person. Before you hit done, imagine that you're a totally different reader who's trying to understand what you want to communicate. Highly effective. Okay. Who is your best friend on the CASP performance task? It is scratch paper! Exclamation point. Scratch paper helps us out so much. And finally, guys, on that CASP, it is a chance to show what you know. Have fun. Read every day. Write every day. Learn every day. And when you're in the mood, come on back to this video and we are going to attack a performance task. In this case, friends, it is about islands. Get excited. And we will see you soon.